Welcome back. Time to find out what we got wrong and what we missed from TV's Andy Levy over in the Red Eye News Deck. Hey, Andy.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
Trump's tough phone calls, as you like to call them.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you said Trump is doing grandpa stuff. Yeah, see, I think tough phone calls are totally fine. Being a to one of our biggest allies and really one of our staunchest military allies strikes me as maybe not a great idea.
It ain't great.
Yeah.
I think there have been, I've liked a lot of what he's done, but I've hated the execution.
Did you?
Travel ban, same way. I didn't wholeheartedly hate it.
Right.
And I thought the hysteria of the Muslim ban, there's 40 countries still allowed to come, I don't consider it a Muslim ban. But I think they could have done a better job of, clarifying the green card situation and stuff like that. But he just doesn't care, and I just think it's refreshing. This is what I do like, Andy. It's cool to have somebody who's this competitive fighting on behalf of us, even when we don't agree with it. It's like when the Yankees got Roger Clemens. I hated Roger Clemens, but I liked having that tough SOB throwing chin music at everybody else.
What he's trying to say is Trump's on steroids.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to say.
Clearly. That's what the doctor left out.
My problem here, Jimmy, is I hate the Red Sox and I hate the Yankees.
Okay.
So it didn't work out for me. No. Dave, you said this is a good chance for Trump to prove he doesn't just hate brown immigrants, and Kristen pointed out that they're mostly Muslims, the ones in Australia. She is correct. They're from countries like Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iraq, and Somalia.
I take it back. He only hates brown immigrants.
Okay. On the other hand, Kristen, like Trump, you referred to these people as illegal immigrants. They're not. They're refugees.
You know what, Andy? I would expect fake news from CNN, but not from you. So I think you need to put your pink hat on and your vagina costume on and go protest with the other snowflakes.
Whoa.
Oh.
That escalated quickly.
I am more than willing to do that. They're still refugees and not illegal immigrants.
Well, Andy, that's your call.
No, it's not my call. It's an official designation.
No, they came.
Yeah, they came to Australia.
They came in many different ways, Andy. It's not a group of refugees that came.
I don't want to go through this because we did it the other night and it was like a really long segment. All you need to do is go look it up and you will see that they are actually refugees.
Andy, they came in many different ways to Australia.
I understand
and Australia
they're in a refugee
admits
camp.
that they are illegal immigrants because they are banning them.
No.
And they say, stop coming to our country.
They're refusing to take them as refugees.
I looked it up. I looked it up on Breitbart.com.
They are illegally coming to the country. They are not being taken from another country as refugees. That's false. False.
Australia won't even let them in the country. They're keeping them in a detention center on an island.
I understand that. They are refugees. Again,
okay, keep saying that word, Andy.
I will keep saying that word because it's accurate. If we're going to talk about fake news, let's not call people illegal immigrants who aren't illegal immigrants.
Andy, do you know what you wanted to call them?
I can imagine. Trump and Schwarzenegger. Tom, you said, hey, look, Arnold had 2 terms as governor of California. But I don't recall him being all that popular when he left office.
Well, he wasn't. He wasn't popular in the first term. But I don't know how he won re-election.
He was the most popular refugee to ever be governor.
That is true. That is true.
But that's why they need to shut up, like California. Like, oh, how can you do that? How could you elect Trump? You elected kindergarten cop.
I know.
Twice. Shut up.
Yeah. I lived in California. I believe I've said this before. I voted for Gary Coleman. I'm not even kidding.
He should have stayed in. He could have won.
He was on the ballot.
Get a shot.
Fella, did you say Schwarzenegger impressions are hack and then follow that up with the Bill Cosby joke?
No, that's not how it went down.
Is that not how it went down?
I don't want to go inside baseball here, but we were trashing Schwarzenegger impersonations before we came on the air, and then Lou went big.
Pulled it out.
He saved it, though. He did clarify.
Right.
He keeps his street cred.
All right. Kristen, your Schwarzenegger impression sounded a little like Frau Blucher from Young Frankenstein.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The Berkeley protest. First of all, Dave, how dare you suggest the power of Starnes as a stretch?
Oh, sorry. You're right. That was great. I'm sorry. I was thoroughly beaten for that.
Just rude. Tom and Kristen, you both applauded Trump for his tweet, which read, if UC Berkeley does not allow free speech and practices violence and innocent people with a different point of view, no federal funds.
Yeah.
Berkeley didn't stop Milo from speaking or say he couldn't speak there. In fact, he was supposed to be speaking there. The school condemned the violence that caused the cancellation of the speech. Trump's tweet made no sense. Now you can explain to me why I'm wrong.
Fake news.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But why they canceled the event, and is that what he's speaking to, the fact that the event
Well, they canceled the event because of violence and it was afraid. But,
I'm sorry,
but they didn't say Milo can't speak here. In fact, they scheduled him to speak.
Andy, if you read the statement, though, that the university actually put out, before all of this happened, it said, we don't agree with Milo at
Right.
all, so
Sure.
we're going to allow him to speak. They basically
Right.
said, we don't agree with Milo, which fueled this hatred and kind of gave a pass to
Well, they
these
were
people
protesting Milo.
to burn down
No, I
the
don't think so.
campus. They aligned themselves with these protesters. They shouldn't be taking a political stance. That is the problem. These education institutions are becoming political institutions.
But let me ask, but wouldn't they kind of, anybody who has extreme views, wouldn't they kind of publicly say, hey, this isn't the view of the school, this is the view of the
The school
speaker
shouldn't
of the
have a
school.
view, period.
Right.
It's getting federal tax dollars.
I'm just saying, I think that they were disassociating themselves from a view. I think that they're doing actually what you're saying that they should do.
They shouldn't be disassociating or associating with any view. That's the point. It should be an open campus. Whatever.
Okay. Phil, you pointed out that the protesters made Milo more visible. Yeah, I totally agree. My feeling is the people who peacefully protested him, that's fine. He can go speak. They can protest outside. The people who turned it violent suck, A, for turning it violent, B, for giving Milo free PR, and most importantly, C, for getting me bumped from Tucker Carlson's show Wednesday.
Is that true? That happened?
Yes.
Oh, Andy, that's a blow to me.
Yeah.
Because that would be a win, you and him.
I know.
That was a loss for America.
Absolutely. Trump's doctor. Can we put up that picture of Trump's doctor? I don't have anything here. I just love this picture.
Andy, I just love that he shops from the Boss Hog collection. The sport coat and the white pants. I love this guy.
I could literally stare at that all day.
All day.
Lewis, you said they shouldn't be giving Trump's medical information out, and Tom, you kept saying, but they yelled at the doctor for not giving out enough information in the past.
Yes.
But yeah, Lewis is right, though. Without Trump's permission, he shouldn't have released the stuff. If Trump wants to give him permission, then sure.
Yeah, Tom, suck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what are
basically
they
what I
doing
was
now?
saying.
What's the New York Times doing, keeping visiting this guy? He shouldn't let them in.
Well, you're probably right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kristen, I enjoyed your reaction to Lewis here. Do we have this video?
You know, because I'm bald. Women like this, right?
They do.
Am I wrong or am I right, Kristen?
You're right.
How sexy is this?
It's like
Unbelievable. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So,
The side eye was fantastic. That was excellent. I do have to say, there were two things from the Times piece that struck me. One is this, I'm quoting from the piece. At times in the interviews, Dr. Bornstein was moody, ranging from saying that Mr. Trump's health is none of your business to later volunteering facts. He also meandered, referring to his longtime study of Italian and stories about medical schools floating cadavers to an island off the waters of New York. I love this guy. This guy is great. But then, if you read the whole Times piece to the end, it's really sad. He says, it says, Dr. Bornstein was invited to Mr. Trump's inaugural. Although he said it was not as pleasant an experience as he expected. He had to walk a long way to a spot where he had thought there would be a chair. He said he has a painful back ailment and nerve damage to a leg. But when he got there was no chair. He stood behind a tree and, quote, never heard anyone speak because I was so uncomfortable from my back and being cold.
Wow. He really got the hookup.
It really, it's so sad.
Pulls your heartstrings.
It really does. I'm done.
Thank you, Andy.